Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to our Amud Yomi Shiur. We are learning yet another amazing Amud in Maseches Kiddushin. Where are we? Kiddushin Mem Tes Amud Aleph. Mem Tes Amud Aleph. Today Amud is Mem Tes Amud Beis, but we are still in Mem Tes Amud Aleph. We are towards the bottom of the narrow lines. The narrow line starts with the word Polig Rab Shimon, and then we are holding in the words Maskifla Ma Ba Rav Ashi. And I'm going to recap what we learned yesterday. I just want to let everybody know that this is Leilu Nishmas Ovi Moiri, Menachem Ben Akiva, and Leilu Nishmas So Bas Moshe Aviva Bas Moshe Ruth Bas Sholem, Lerefuas Chana Batzima, Or Refoel Ben Dalia, Daven Heart for Or Refoel Ben Dalia, Ninachar Bas Gula Rochel, Besoch Shochol Yisrael, Leilu Nishmas Hen Yarei Shabbos L'Chol Litzchok, Latzlochas Kol Klal Yisrael. The captive people should be back here very soon. Now, Mashiach should come. So, what did we say yesterday? Yesterday we said as follows: a boy tricks a girl. Uy, 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 uy. Yeah, a man told a woman, sorry to burst your bubble, but these things happen, and vice versa. So now a man told a woman, Arat Mukodesh Sli, Al Menas, what? I'm going to give you a silver coin. That will be the Kiddushin, and he gave her gold, or vice versa. She's not Mukudeshes, right? Says Tanakama. Why? So I saw in the Shulchan Aruch that even if the girl did not object. She received the other kind of metal that wasn't promised. She's mekudeshes. She's not mekudeshes. Why? Because it wasn't known to her. The Mishnah says he promised silver, v'nimtza shel zohov, which means he was covered with a shmata, as the Gemara says. It was covered, or the cup was covered, the wine versus the honey that we spoke about. Yeah, so when she received the Kiddushin, she naively believed him that that's the metal they spoke about, or the drink they spoke about. She unveils it, uncovers, and she sees something else. She's not Mekudeshes. Maybe later she'll say, well, I didn't care about his condition. No, but if originally it was Kiddushin on condition, and when you received the ring, the covered ring, yeah, and you didn't know what it was, and you assumed it was silver, and it was a condition, you can't go against your own condition. Unless before the marriage, she says, or at the time of Kiddushin, she says, I'm yours regardless of the tnoim, regardless of the conditions. But if she accepted a condition and the condition wasn't fulfilled, then even if she says, I don't care afterwards, yeah, but at the time of Kiddushin, she wasn't aware of what's going on, she's not Mekudesh. Oh, now, that's the Nekama. Rabbi Shimon, what did Rabbi Shimon say? Step number 2. Rabbi Shimon says, listen, depends. Let's talk about the case in which the person said, I am rich, Al menas that I'm rich. I'm a kaddish you on condition that I'm rich. Believe me, I'm rich, otherwise you're not my wife. Comes out he's poor. Or vice versa. I'm poor, comes out he's rich, he's not Mekudeshes. Reb Shimon here is interfering and says no. If the condition is if the change of his words, if his trickery is an upgrade, he's just surprising her. He told her I'm poor, but really he's rich. Wow, what a nice surprise. If the surprise is positive, says Rab Shimon, what happens then? She's Mekudeshes. And we discussed that yesterday. Third stage comes Ula, and Ula says, listen, although really we know that when it comes to money, money is only a gain. You're opting for silver, now you get gold, the more the better. You thought he's a poor guy that barely manages to, scratch by, and really, the guy has, a lot of wealth, the more the better, says Rab Shimon. However, when it comes to Yuchsin, we will all see in the next Mishnah, which hopefully we'll see on Sunday, the next Mishnah says that if a person says, Al Menaser I'm a Kohen, comes out he's a Levi. Al Menaser I'm a Levi, comes out he's a Kohen. What happens then? The Nekama says, she's not Mekudeshes, he did not fulfill his promise. And there, Rab Shimon keeps quiet. Rab Shimon doesn't say anything. Why? Why don't Rab Shimon argue over there? Well, says Ula, you know why? Because Yichus, even Rab Shimon agrees that an upgrade is not necessarily good. Why? If a girl comes from a simple family of Israelim, and those people are Kohanim, they're going to look down at her. Yeah, and she'll say, this shoe is too big for me. I don't want to be the misken, the pauper of the family. Every Shabbos meal, they're going to look at me as if I'm the one coming from the, little village. I'm not so choshev as they are. And therefore, in that case, even Rab Shimon agrees that an upgrade is not an upgrade. Okay? Ad kan, what we saw yesterday at the end of Shiur. Maskif Lamar Baravashi. Mar Baravashi is attacking Ula. Ela Diktani. Listen to the following Mishnah, which is also mentioned later on in the Mishnah. The same, if the next Mishnah says the following, Al minas she yesh li bas o shifcha megudeles ve'en loi. Let's see, the person says as follows. Listen, I have either a shifcha, a girl, my own daughter from previous marriage or from other marriage, or I have a shifcha. What's megudeles? Old, not very old, teenager, above bas mitzvah. You know what? Wow, she can cook, clean, she'll do everything. You're going to sit there like a queen. I'm coming to the marriage with help. You're going to get help from my daughter, from a shifcha. What a deal. What a bargain. Yeah. And that, by the way, translates into what? Money, right? You won't have to work hard. You won't have to hire your own ozeret. You already have an ozeret. You have a helper. You have a maid at home. It's money, right? These things cost money. I have them already for free for you. Again, almanas sheyesh libas shifcha megudeles ve'en lo. What a lie. She comes to his house. He has no daughter, no help. She has to scratch the floors herself. Almanas she'en loy ve'yesh loy, or the other way around. I'm telling you that I do not have an older daughter or an older shifcha, and all of a sudden there is one. Great. There's help. There's cleaning. The shvach mominu there translates into money, right? It's a rich and poor. Ozeres costs money, a help. I have help, so it's a money issue. And yet, hachinami deloy polig. Look, if you notice over there, Rabbi Shimon also keeps quiet. Rabbi Shimon there didn't say anything. He didn't say that when it comes to financial things, I have no maid, and now he does have a maid. Rabbi Shimon should have opened his mouth and said, no, here the woman is happy because a financial upgrade is for sure good according to Rabbi Shimon. You know why Rabbi Shimon kept quiet? I'll tell you why. Ela polig bereisha v'wadin l'seifa. Rabbi Shimon doesn't have to repeat himself. Rabbi Shimon is not a roichel. Rabbi Shimon is not a merchant that has to advertise himself again and again. Rabbi Shimon made this statement once, where in the Reisha, regarding gold and silver, rich and poor, and then Rabbi Shimon doesn't have to choilik again and again and again. He rests his case. In the Sefer, doesn't have to say anything. If so, hachanami, now you, Ula, what did you tell me? You know why Rabbi Shimon kept quiet regarding Yuchsin? Because he agrees to Chachamim. No! Polik Beresha, Wadin Laseifa, maybe not. Maybe really he argues also regarding Yichus. And he believes that Yichus, when you change the Yichus either way, what is it? Yichus either way is really a problem. And he argues, Rabbi Shimon, and he believes that an upgrade, she would agree. And it's good Kiddushin when it's a financial upgrade or Yichus upgrade. She'll be happy, to marry into Kohen's family. She's such a regular Israelis. And you know why he didn't voice his opinion? Because he voiced it at the beginning. He doesn't have to say it again and again. Once you argue once, unless you're a real diehard, you don't have to repeat your opinion again and again. Maybe that's the idea. Answers the Gemara, no. Hachi Ashta, is that the same? No. It's not the same. Why? Hosom, regarding the Shvach moment, let me just explain the question because I'm not sure we got it straight. Let me explain the question. The question is as follows. In the Reisha, Reb Shimon argued. The Reisha was only about money. Gold versus silver, wine versus honey, rich versus poor. It's all about money. Value, right? And then Reb Shimon says, if it's an upgrade, it's good. Instead of silver, she gets gold, it's good. Fine. Now, what about the Seifa? The Seifa had two cases. One case of Yichus, Levi, Soy Levi, a Kohen Levi, right? And another case, of what? Of money. I have a helper, I have a cleaning lady, or I don't. That's money. And Reb Shimon kept quiet in both cases. Both regarding the girl, the cleaning lady, the girl, and regarding the Levi and Kohen. Says Mar Bavashi to Ula, listen, you know why Reb Shimon kept quiet regarding Yichus? Not because he really agrees that Yichus is an issue because she doesn't want to feel like a pauper in the house of these snobbish people. No. Poshet Reb Shimon, just like Reb Shimon regarding money, you agree with me, the money he argues. With money, he argued once about silver, gold, silver, wine, and honey. And then he doesn't have to repeat himself about the Ozeret, right? So too, he doesn't have to repeat himself about Yichus. But he does argue regarding Yichus. He just doesn't have to say his thing again and again and again. You listen to some very, very far off leftist liberal. One time you argue, then he keeps going, be quiet and sit and learn your Gemara, right? How many times can you argue again and again? You say it once and Gemara, no. Answers the Gemara, no, it's not the same. Now we're going to defend Ula and we say, Hachi Ashta, is that the same? Hosom, regarding the money issue, Idi ve'idi de shvach momin. Both the Resha and the Seifa is money. One is about silver, gold, and the second one is about the helper, Polig Beresha. Vuadin, Beseifa, once he argued at the beginning, he doesn't have to repeat himself at the end. It's all money matters. Here, silver, gold, and here it's helper, not helper. I rest my case. I said it already. I don't have to repeat it again. Ocho, the shvach yuchsimhu, in Isa de Polig Nitni. But regarding the second part of the second Mishnah, when we learned about yuchsim, that's all new topic. You didn't argue about yuchsim yet. You didn't speak about yuchsim because yuchsim is a whole new issue. And if Reb Shimon would like to voice his opinion, he should have. He didn't talk about that before. And therefore, if he kept quiet, it means that he agrees to Chachomim. And he agrees that when it comes to Yichus, a woman does not want this unless she says otherwise. But if he told her, I'm a simple Israel like you, oh, you're a Kohen? I'm not happy about that. I don't want to look like the Cinderella of the family, and therefore, and we stay with that. Why didn't Reb Shimon say anything? Because he agrees to them. That's our, yeah. In other words, because Reb Shimon agrees to Chachamim that the Yichus is bad downwards and upwards, as Ula originally said. Yichus is not like money, two different issues. By money, he didn't repeat himself. Yichus, he kept quiet because he really agrees to Chachamim. Answers number 2. Iboy Sema. This, I think you're going to laugh when you hear this one. Not Khalila that the thing is funny, but the example is interesting. Right. Iboy Sema. An alternative answer. The story of the big girl, of the big shifcha, is not just about money. It also has to do with yichus and feeling uncomfortable, psychologically speaking. Why? You think that when he said to her, I have a girl who is old, Gedola means old, 15, 16, 20, above Bas Mitzvah? No. Gedelis, which means I have a girl who's either Shifcha or my own daughter who are Choshuv. There are women, either this or that, are women that people listen to. They have a status. People listen to what they say. The Omrohi, the woman may say, you said you don't have a big girl and you have a big Choshuv girl. I don't want to come into a relationship when you have a girl, a Shifcha, or your daughter from other marriage who is a Choshuv person. Why? I don't want her to take words from me. In other words, she would watch what I'm doing, yeah. And she'll go and say to all my neighbors. In other words, because she's a man de Omar in town, she can see what's happening in my kitchen. She'll see what's happening in my room. She'll see what's happening with me, and she'll go and start telling everybody else what's happening in my life. And they would listen to her. Rashi says, "Strong lelag v'keles." She'll make mockery. She'll make, she'll take the Mickey out of me with all the neighbors, and I don't want that. Why is it called yichus? The Marshal says that some shifchos are more miyuchas than others. I saw this for once. How can you have a shifcha knainis? Either she's a daughter, either she herself is shifcha knainis, or she's a daughter of Eved Knainis shifcha knainis. But there is a shifcha knainis which is more miyuchas, that the father is an Eved Ivri. An Eved Ivri is allowed to marry shifcha knainis. So a shifcha that came from a Jewish father and a shifcha mother is considered more choshuv. Yeah, she's only halfway, and therefore such a shifcha is a big talker. Now listen to Tosfos. Look at Tosfos. Tosfos says, "My godeles, it's legadel se'ar. Lagdil se'ar is to braid the hair. She is a barber. She's a hairdresser. She's a hairstylist, and she goes from house to house, and she talks to everybody, and everybody talks to her. Where do you get very talkative and you take a haircut? By women for sure. So she knows all the news in town, and she will go from house to house to do their braids and do the chasana hairdos, and she'll talk to everybody about me. I don't need that. And therefore, in that case, yeah, so we still maintain Ula. Ula is right. When it comes to Yuchsin, not everything is about money. When it comes to money, Reb Shimon says, listen, you're richer, you have more money, say thank you. And even though he told you silver, gold is even better. He told you it's poor, rich is even better. But when it comes to an older girl, it's Aliyah V'Koitzba, which means she's going to do the floors very nicely, but she'll also listen to my phone conversations, and she's going to look up my phone, and she'll know what's going on with me, and she'll go say to everybody else, I don't need that headache on my head. And that is something which is yuchsin, which of course Reb Shimon agrees is a problem to have an upgrade. It's an upgrade with a thorn in it, with a problem in it. And therefore Reb Shimon would say that this is not good for her, and the Kiddushin is not Kiddushin. Yes. Again, we have to go back to basics. Chachamim always said, Chachamim never changed from the words. Chachamim, yeah, what did they say? Upgrade, downgrade, sidewise? No. If the original condition wasn't fulfilled, it's a no. Money, yichus, shmichus, everything. That's Chachamim. Rab Shimon argued with them regarding if it's an upgrade, unexpected upgrade, unknown upgrade, you tricked me. But if it's a financial upgrade from poor to rich, I'm happy. But he agrees to Chachamim that when it comes to yichus, an upgraded yichus is not good because she's not happy to be in a more yichus-dicky family, or she doesn't want to be near this pest of a girl who sticks her nose in her business. That's it.
Downgrade.
Yes. Downgrade always, of course. Downgrade and a lie, of course he agrees that it's bad. Avada, yeah, no question. Yes. Tonu Rabbanon. Oh, now we're going to see all set of very interesting Tnoim conditions that a man can make. And I even have the Shulchan Aruch open. We're going to see the Shulchan Aruch afterwards. Tonu Rabbanon. Al menas shani karyono. The person says, he knows that this girl is a base Yaakov girl, or Michlala, or something. She wants a knowledgeable boy. And he tells her, Al menas shani karyono. I'm only Mekadesh you, Al menas that I know how to read. What does it mean to know how to read? Yeah. To know how to read what? To what level? Yeah. He's not, illiterate. Okay. I am a literate person. What does it mean? To what level? Does he have to read the Torah Baal Peh just to know how to read? What does it mean? Says the Braise, if he knows how to read even 3 psukim, it's mashma from halacha, even if he knows only these 3 psukim. But if he can go through 3 psukim, the basic Knesses, it doesn't say that it has to be with the timing. So I'm not sure what's basic Knesses. I don't think he has to know the trop. Yeah. Yeah. But that level, I don't know how to read because my trop is very, very bad. Yeah. So Reizo Mekudeshes. So she's Mekudeshes. The minimum standard is the standard. Yeah. Even if you just know to read 3 psukim, that's called knowing how to read. Rabbi Yehuda heightens the standard, and he says, Ad shikra v'yitargem. No, it's not enough to read and not understand what you're reading. He has to read and know how to translate. Back then they spoke Aramaic, so you have to, or like today, let's say you're an English speaker who doesn't know Hebrew, and you read 3 psukim in the Torah, you read them pretty well, but what did the psukim say? Big question mark. From some reason, you're not taught what this pasuk means, right? Let's say. So that's not good enough. He has to read and be metargum. And the original targum is what? A targum to Aramaic. Targum, which one? Unkelus. That's a classical targum. That's what he has to do. Read and be metargum. Frek the Gemara, let's zone in now on this targum business. The targum idaite. Is it enough that he's metargum, like freestyle targum, what he thinks is the right targum, which may not be exact? The Atanya, it says in the Brisa, Rabbi Yehuda a metargum posuk kitzosoi harei ze badoi. A person who metargum a posuk the way it is literally, without the masoira of, let's say, unkelus, is a liar. Yeah, don't cook a kid in his mother's milk. Oh, let's have cheeseburger. Why not? It's not his mother's milk. No. Right? In other words, he has to go beyond the Pashup Pshat, because the Pashup Pshat of the Pasuk many times is not the Pshat. We know that by Chumash. And if you metargim it as if you are somebody from Hebrew, you don't have a Messiah though, yeah, then what? You're Badoy, a liar. The Moisif Olav Harez Mechalif Megadif. On the other hand, somebody gets too flowery and starts adding his own Pirushim, in outer space, I don't know, all kinds of extra things, right? Then he's mamish cursing Chas v'Shalom Chalila Hashem. He's not going according to the Torah. It's kfira. He has his own ideas that he's adding to the Torah, all flowers and butterflies, and this is not the original thing. Why? Because, again, Rashi says, Targum Unkelus also adds, if you do Shnai Mikra, you notice, Unkelus adds a lot of things here and there. Says Rashi, that was given me Sinai. Targum Unkelus is the Targum which were given in our Sinai, and then they forgot it, and then he re-established it. But for me or you to come and start our own Targum, and we can say Perushim, but to say Targum in the Torah with all kinds of, extra additions, who told you that? Ella. So what is this story with the guy who's telling her, I know how to read, and he has to read and translate? What does translate mean? My Targum Didan, our Targum. In other words, he has to know how to read, at least 3 psukim. He has to know how to read the Targum Unkelus. Maybe today the English equivalent of Unkelus would be good. The traditional Targum, with the art scroll. Yeah, but Lamaisa, he has to know the 3 psukim and read and understand at least 3 psukim, but not more than that. Yeah, he knows that's called knowing how to read, that he doesn't have to, maybe other psukim does know how to read. Yeah, there are harder words than the other ones. He doesn't know how to read v'achashter panim. Yeah, I don't know, v'achashter panim. He doesn't know how to read that. Okay, but he knows 3 psukim from his bar mitzvah parsha. That's a good one. His bar mitzvah parsha is parshas Kisisa. He knows 3 psukim from Kisisa at the end of the parsha. That he knows, and he knows how to explain. That minimum is enough. As we're going to see as we go along, there are always lower there's whatever. There's usually the standard is very low. Yeah, the lowest standards is 3 psukim, because why 3 psukim? That's Takonas Ezra. You don't read less than 3 psukim in the Torah, in public. That low standard is only true the Omer le Karyana, that he says, I know how to read. Aval Omer lo Koro ano. Oh, let's say he told her, I am a Koro. I am a Chumash guy. I'm a Chumash expert. Yeah, I'll give an explanation. I'll give you an example. Lehavdil for those. A guy tells a girl and she likes sports. Yeah, oh, she only wanted the sportsman. And he tells her, Almenas, that I play soccer. Listen to the difference. I play soccer. Or he says, I am a soccer player. Which one is the higher standard? I play soccer or I'm a soccer player? Of course. I'm a soccer player. She's fantasizing about Messi. And he says, I play soccer. It's a little guy who plays soccer once in 2 months. He plays soccer. Yeah. Same thing over here. If he says, I know how to read, I know how to read 3. But if he tells her, what? I'm a Chumash man. I'm a Koro. I'm a Mikra guy, giving himself the title, the adjective. Ooh. Then we need a much higher standard. Ad Kori Oraisa Nevi V'Ksuvi B'Diyuka. He has to know how to read the entire Tanakh. He doesn't say he has to know it Baal Peh. We're going to the Shulchan Aruch later, but he knows how to read well, B'Diyuka. He knows how to read meticulously with all the grammar, the Torah Nevi'im Uksuvim, all of it. Yeah, any place in Torah, he'll be able to read well. Some postek at the end of Tzfanya, he'll read blah, 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 like that very well with all the degeshim. That is called being a Tanakh guy. Or if you won the Tanakh competition, Yom Ha'atzmaut, Chidon Tanakh. Maybe that's also. Weiter. Yes. Weiter. Next case. Almenas shani shoine. Now shoine, I would say, is to do with Mishnah, and that's a maskana. He tells her, I am shoine. I learn Mishnayos. He didn't say I am a Mishnah expert. I learned Mishnayos. Oh wow, you learned Mishnayos. And then what? And then, of course, he'll have to give a ring eventually. But this is a condition, Erat Mukudeshesli, with this beautiful ring, Almenas, and condition that I didn't say I'm a Mishnah expert. I read Mishnah. I learn Mishnah. Yeah, that's my thing. I learn Mishnah. So what do you call Ani Shoine? Now we know the Mishnah as it is, but what's really behind the Mishnah? Chizkia Omar Halachos. Halachos does mean Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Halachos means Halachos Moshe Sinai. In other words, the part of Mishnah that is the oral tradition from Moshe Rabbeinu till today, yeah, that part he has to know. He doesn't have to know all the Mishnahs in Noshim Nezikin, Ezroi, Moed, Kochim. All he has to know is he has to know some of the, or all, or some, Shaila actually, of the halachos, yeah, of halachos Moshe Sinai. Let's say he has to know that tefillin are black, halachos Moshe Sinai, that sofek korla bekilaim, bechutzlatz is mutar, halachos Moshe Sinai, v'chulei. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Torah. Rabbi Yochanan says Torah sounds to us like what says Rashi, Torah shebechtav. That's weird. Because shoine is Torah shebechtav, maybe. And maybe shoine, really, what does the word shoine mean? Learn. So maybe when he says shoine, he meant Torah shebechtav. Maybe Mishnah is Torah shebechtav. We know it's not true. But the Gemara now has a doubt about it. Meisivi, we're going to question that. Ezoi Mishnah. When we say Mishnah, what do we mean when we say Mishnah? Rabbi Meir Omer halachos, that's good. Rameir says halachos halachos Sinai. In other words, those things passed orally from Moshe Rabbeinu till today. That's what we call Mishnah. Eventually, it was written in the Mishnah of Rebbe, but really, the real essence of Mishnah is the Torah Shebaal Peh going down the generations. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Midrash. Rashi says Sifra v'Sifri, which is the midrashim from the Torah, and it's so the Shulchan Aruch. Yeah, the Shulchan Aruch says that midrash means all the places which we see in the Gemara where we darshan, we infer halachas from the psukim, which we do every half a second in the Gemara. That's midrash. Yudorish, la, isha, eved, right? All these words. That's midrash. My Torah, midrash Torah. Torah means the midrash of the Torah itself, and Mishnah meant the midrashim that are mentioned is Sifra, Sifri, in the Midrash Rabbah, right? In any event, so no, sorry. So no. That's the answer. Sorry, no. Oh, I'm sorry, messed it up. Again. The question is as follows. When you said, what did we say before? We said that when a person said, I am a shoine, which we understand means he's doing mishnayos, Chizka said halachas, Rabbi Yochanan said Torah, right? The question was, Rabbi Yochanan, how can he say Torah? We thought Rabbi Yochanan meant to say Torah shebichtav. I'm a shoine Mishnah, and really what he does is Chumash? No. Torah shebichtav is not Mishnah. Mishnah is either oral tradition or Sifra v'Sifri, and all the places where we learn extract halachas from the Torah. But learning Chumash is not called shoine. So if the guy told her, I'm shoine, and all he does is Torah, Beresh Shmos V'Ikra, it's wrong. Answers the Gemara, my Torah, Midrash Torah. That's what Rabbi Yochanan meant. We changed Rabbi Yochanan. When Rabbi Yochanan said Torah, he didn't mean Torah shebichtav, he meant Torah shebe'al peh. Very good. Let's put everything in order. Nice. Very good. Nice. When a person says, our jargon is not always right. Very nice. If a person says, I am a koro, we think koro is like koroi. I am a kara guy, kufresh aleph, he meant mikra. What's mikra? Chumash. I know chumash. Wow. The guy, I am a koro. I am a mikra guy. I have a PhD in mikra. What does he have to do? Oh, the whole Tanakh, very well, he has to know how to read. Doesn't say Baal Peh, but he has to know how to read it well and explain wherever he is, right? Yes, but what do you say to me? If he said shoine, if he said I am shoine, which we relate to Mishnayos, it means one of two of the bodies of the Torah Shebaal Peh, which is Mishnah. Either I know all the oral tradition, Alochel Mishnah Sinai, or he knows the droshes of how do we know, let's say that an Isha gets married with a shtar. How do you know that? You know that by law. Well, the Yotza v'Hoisa from Gittin to Kiddushin. I'm just giving one example. All the droshes or some of the droshes of the Torah. Yeah, but that's Torah. When he said Torah, he meant Torah Shebaal Peh. Tanina. Now, if he told her, I learn Mishnayos, then he has to know not all of it. He has to know some of the Mishnayos. Again, I hope to see the Shulchan Aruch to show you. But he has to know a Mishnah here, a Mishnah there. Aval Omar lo Tana ano. If he tells her, I'm a Tana, I'm a Tana. He lives in 2024. How can be a Tana? I'm a Mishnah expert. I'm a Mishnah guy, not I learn Mishnah. I am a Mishnah man. Then he's therefore heightening the standard. Ad Tani Hilchasa Sifro Vesifri Vetosefta. He has to know everything, both Hilchasa. What's Hilchasa? Alochem Shemisina Baal Peh. And also Sifro, Sifri, Tosefta, he has to know the whole thing. He has to know Sifro, Sifri, and Tosefta are all midrashim. He has to be a midrash expert, and he has to know the midrashim well, and besides the Torah Shebaal Peh that's not written in the midrashim. All of it. Al-Menashani Talmid. Al-Menashani Talmid, and some people have a gear, so Talmid Chacham. That's always a question. What's called the Talmid Chacham? A person told her, Aret Mukudeshes Li with a nice ring, Al-Menas, that I am a Talmid Chacham, meaning, what does it mean Talmid Chacham, not Chacham? Talmid means I don't yet have smicha, I'm not yet there, I didn't arrive at the top, but I'm a Talmid. I am learning in yeshiva, I'm a yeshiva bacher. I'm a Talmid, I am learning Torah. I learn Torah. Not I'm a learner. I'm not Lakewood's best. I learn. So what do you mean you learn? You're a Talmid, you're pupil. What does it mean? And Oimrim, that we don't require him to be, we don't set the standard high, Kishimon ben Azai or Kishimon ben Zoima. The common denominator between Shimon ben Azai and Shimon ben Zoima, they were Bochrim. Ben Zoima, it's known Ben Azai never got married. Ben Zoima never got married, and then never made it to Smicha. They did not get Smicha, although they didn't have Smicha. Loi hoi b'mei k'moisim b'Torah. Says Rashi, they're the biggest Talmid Chachamim. They're not married. They didn't have to change, diapers. They didn't have to pay the Iriah bills. Only learning the whole life, and they were very big shakdanim. So they didn't make it to smicha. They're always like the talmidim of the Bali smicha, but they were top learners. So they had this standard of a bacher, of a talmid, but they were really, really good. We do not require that standard, Ela, but we rather have a much lower standard. Kol shesholinus b'kol mokom dovo echad belimudoi ve'oimroi. Let's say the guy says, she tells him, oh, what do you learn? And he says, I'm learning Kiddushin. Can you tell me something from Kiddushin? And he says, no, I forgot. I have to look online to see again, what did the rabbi say? Yeah. So if you don't know anything of what you learn in Kiddushin Bichlal, then you're not called a Talmid. If you know at least one thing of the sugya where you're holding, Belimudoi, or could be from the previous thing. You learned Bav Metzia, you learned Bav Kama, and you remember at least one thing from Bav Metzia. At least one thing Bav Kama, then you're Talmid. But if you don't remember anything, maybe you go to Shiur every day. If you don't remember anything you learn, you're not even called a Talmid. And then the girl is not your wife. Yeah, the afilu b'masechta dekala. Even if the easiest masechta kala, let's say the only thing he knows is the shortest masechet in Shas, which is the masechta chitzoinis, masechta which they say was later than the other masechtas. What's maseches kala? It's one sentence. Says Rashi, kala b'lo brocha asur l'bayla kanida. 6 words. A kala without brocha, without going under the chuppah, making the sheva brochas v'chulei, she's asur on her husband. He's not allowed to touch her as if she was nida. And the masechta. So that's the only masechta he knows, but he knows it. That he knows, it's called a Talmid. Talmid Chacham. It's called a Talmid, so the marriage applies. It's called that he fulfilled his condition. But if he says, let's say he said, I am not a Talmid Chacham, I am Chacham. Now, Chacham means what? Wise person. Very good. It doesn't only mean Chacham, the Chachamim of Kamkinevsky or Rabbi Akiva much earlier, but Chacham means an intelligent person. We don't require him to be as Chacham as the Chachamim of Yavne. Yavne, Beis Din. It doesn't have to be as smart as the Beis Din or Rabbi Akiva himself, the master of Torah Shabbat Peh. Ela, kol shesholim us dvar Chacham b'chol makom ve'oimro. If there's any place that's totally b'svoro, they ask him in the sugya, no, what's a svara? It gives you a good svara. He gives you a good svara in the sugya. You want to explain the sugya? He gives you a good explanation by himself. Yeah, it's a lamdan. That's what we call lamdan today. That's called a chochom, and the marriage is marriage. Let's continue. I would really, really, really like to make it to the Mishnah, and then either today or on Sunday, I'll tell you some interesting stuff from the Shulchan Aruch. Weiter. Al-Menashani Gibor. I am a strong guy. Ooh, I'm a strong guy. I can't show you my muscles now, but he says to the girls, Al-Menas, that I'm a strong guy. Ein omrim ke'avner bener v'kriyav ben tzuya. We don't require him to be as strong as Avner ben Ner, which was the head of army of Shaul HaMelech, or Yoav ben Tzruya, head of army of David HaMelech. At the end of the day, it was very, very tragic because Avner ben Ner switched sides, and he moved from Shaul to David. But Yoav ben Tzruya didn't believe him. He thought he's just a spy from the other party, and he killed him. You think today's bad? They had the mamish killed each other, yeah. So he killed him, believing that it's time spying for the other side. So then he doesn't have to be as strong as them, but Ela, if locally his friends are scared of him because he's gvorosai, he's known to be Mr. Muscles, you don't mess up with him. Yeah, because they're scared of him because he's a strong man. If locally amongst his friends is considered relatively the strongest one, yeah, because they're scared of him, of his gvura, that's called gibor. Al-Menashani Oshil, what's called Oshil, what's called rich? You know what's called rich in an African village? My daughter told me. Yeah, she lived in Africa in Beit Chabad. If you're in an African village which are very poor and you have a few chickens, you have like a 5-6 chickens, you are the Bill Gates of town. Yeah, you have a few chickens that lay eggs all the time. You're a billionaire. Ghana was relatively advanced. Yeah, in the villages, not in the town. So what's rich by an Avrech? Avrech has a car, second-hand car in Kiryat Sefer. Is a rich guy. Yeah, yeah. I lived in such places. What? What's called? Yeah, what's called Osher? It's very relative. Yeah, not everyone lives in Beverly Hills, you know. So what's any Osher? What's called Osher? Aminas shani Osher and Oimrim Kablozo ben Chalso, Kablozo ben Azariah. He doesn't have to be like Kablozo ben Chalsom. Kablozo ben Chalsom, his father left him 1,000 boats, 1,000 big boats, and 1,000 towns in Israel. He owned 1,000 towns. That's a big mayor. He was the mayor of thousands. He owned 1,000 cities or towns and 1,000 boats. Even today, I think they would be pretty rich. Now, if you have 1,000 boats, that's quite well. Yeah, you don't have to be that rich. Rabbi Lozo ben Azariah, his meiser was 12,000 calves. Was the meiser behema? 12,000 times 100 times 10 is 120,000. 120,000 cows a year. That's very rich. So we don't set very high standards. Ella. The people in his town respect him because of his relative wealth. He has 10 chickens. Wow. So Mamish gets so much covered when he enters town, everyone bows down to him. He's a very rich guy. He has 10 chickens. That's very choshuv. So that's what she wants. She wants to marry Oisher Chashivus. What's wealth? Part of wealth is the snub. Yes, to be considered the jet set guy. Be choshuv. Almenas shani tzadik. Oh, this is that's the one which all the mashgichim quote in Elul. Almenas shani tzadik, right? The guy told her, "Aret mukudeshesli," with a ring, on condition that I'm a tzadik. I don't want to be arrogant, but I'm a tzadik. Almenas shani tzadik. Afilu rosho gomu. She finds out that the guy is a complete rosho. Yeah, mekudeshes. What? Why is she mekudeshes? Shema here tshuva b'daitoi. Maybe he had charota. Maybe he did tshuva in his heart and he's a tzaddik. Two questions. It's very nice for Elul, but it's not Elul now. So what? Two questions. First of all, what do you mean? Mechites he did here tshuva, right? And secondly, it's just a maybe. Why is she mekudeshes? Answer number one. That's more of a musadik answer. You know, I would, if I were to be Mekadesh a woman, which Baruch Hashem, I don't have to have a very good wife. If I was Mekadesh a woman, I wouldn't have told her Almanas that I'm a Chinese, because being Chinese is not even on my radar. It doesn't interest me. If he tells her Almanas Shani Tzadik, it means he's thinking in that direction. Maybe he's not frum and she is frum. He's trying to maybe butter up to her, but he's in the direction. Otherwise, he's saying it, right? Yeah. If you say something, I would be that, or making a condition in marriage, which is choshev, it means your mind is there. Question number two, that's still a maybe. Says Shulchan Aruch Rabbi Isai, and it's a maybe Kiddushin, it's a Sofek Kiddushin. Wow. It's not Nikudeshes for sure, but you can't send her without a get either. Yeah, in other words, this is Eshetish. Hey, hot, dangerous. In other words, if the guy says, Al Menasar, she comes home, the house is full of, I don't know, preachers, goyish music, all the bad things. He lies to everyone, he cheats on everyone. Rosha, but we say maybe he's in the right direction. What do you mean maybe? Maybe good enough that she requires a get because you don't know. Maybe he's a Rosha, but maybe he's in the right direction to judge by his words. Because we don't know, it's a Safek Kiddushin. She may want to stay with him and go through the journey with him and Mechazakim. She want to opt for divorce, but she needs a divorce. She's not automatically out. Yeah, I don't know if we have time or not. I had an American friend, very, very quick story. I had a friend in yeshiva, and more than half of our yeshiva were American, and he told me that his grandfather is a Rav, or was, I think, a Rav, and his grandmother is a Rebbitzin. When his grandfather married his grandmother, the parents were not at the wedding because his grandmother was not from. He was a yeshiva bacher, serious, and she was not, old town America, right? Boys and girls were more together than today. So basically, the parents didn't know that she was not from, but she was willing to become from. At the chuppah, already before the chuppah, she wanted to become from. The day after the chasana, he taught her all the halachas like you teach a 3 years old. How to wash your hands, how to make a bracha. The husband taught his wife, and she became a Rebbitzin. And he was a Rav. Okay, so here you are. Weiter, al menas shani rosho. Oy vey. Yeah, get that? He's Mekadosh and Kiddushin, he's a rosho. That's what she wants. Yeah, al menas that I'm a rosho, then you're my wife. Afilu tzadik gomu. And then we find out he's a tzaddik. He's really a tzaddik. I don't see the Vera. I wanted to marry a Chiloni. What's this from cut business? You're not fulfilling the condition, yeah? Then Mekudeshes. Why is she Mekudeshes? Again, Misofek. Shema here dvar avodas kochovim bedaitoi. Oh, because maybe he already thought of serving Avodah Zarah. Why do you have to say Avodah Zarah, my friends? Remember what said in Daf Mem? When you think of eating chazir, think of wearing shatnez, you're not a Rasha. When you seriously think of doing Avodah Zarah, even though you did not do it yet, your mind is in the wrong direction, because Avodah Zarah is not just about Maisa, it's about belief. You believe in Avodah Zarah enough to have a strong Havamina to take the bus and go to Tel Aviv, to the base of Avodah Zarah house, or to the monastery down the road, right? If you think that way, Avodah Zarah is a mind Avera, as opposed to eating Chazer, which is not. So if the guy is speaking about Al Menaseh Rosha, I wouldn't have said that to any wife, Al Menashani Rosha. Why is he saying it? Mashma, his mind is veering in that direction. At least it's a maybe. So it's a maybe Kiddushin, she needs a get. Now we're going to start the famous Gemara, which everybody knows, about different places in the world and their special qualities. Right. Yeah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as the Maharsha says, when a person is born, the Gemara Nida, I think around Daf Lamed, the Gemara Nida says that although we know there's free choice, but some things are decided by Hashem. For example, will the person be intelligent or no, not so intelligent? That's decided by Hashem. Whatever, the shape of the face is decided by Hashem. Even rich or poor could be decided already by Kadosh Baruch Hu. What's the bchira? What will you do in that situation under those circumstances? Just like every person has a certain, mazel he's born with, so too it applies to different countries and nations. Some countries are blessed with certain things, while other countries are blessed or cursed with other things, right? For example, HaKadosh Baruch Hu bestowed upon the world 10 kabin, obviously what I mean kabin, like 10 measurements of wisdom, chokhmah, Tishanot le'Eretz Yisrael, v'echad kol olam kuloi. 9 of them was taken by Eretz Yisrael, and 1 the entire world. What is that? It means, I remember b'shem hu, it's like a meiser. Eretz Yisrael is the owner of chokhmah. The chokhmah all over the world, in the other places, is just a meiser of that, because it says, Avira da'ad Yisrael machkim. Yeah, the Gedolim said what it took them in Eretz Yisrael to learn much, much faster than when they learned in Chutz La'aretz. It all attested that learning in Eretz Yisrael, you get the Torah quicker. That's a place. That's the name of the game. That's a real chokhmah. It's chokhmah Torah. So Eretz Yisrael is the smartest place. Avir da'at Yisrael machkim. V'v'baso kufnun ches amud beis. Bavli. Why is Bavli more than Yerushalmi? Bavli was more melus Torah. Yerushalmi is more straight. Okay, that's another shaila. I hear what you're saying. But Bavel took the... Bavel, we'll see later, had the koich of teaching Torah. But okay, I hear. Fine. 10 kabim of beauty went down to the world. Yerushalayim Ira Kodesh. I don't think it means Yerushalayim today. Yerushalayim Ira Kodesh with Beis Hamikdash is a place of beauty. What's beauty? Perfection. Yerushalayim in its glory with Beis Hamikdash is a perfect place of beauty, of right proportions. Beauty is all about proportion. So Yerushalayim has all the beauty. And 1 kav was given to Niagara Falls, Grand Canyon, v'chulei. Asar kabim ashir seod eloilom. Wealth. 10 kabim of wealth came to the world. Tishanot l'roimim kadmoinim v'echad kol olam kuloi. Rome was a very rich place. Rome was a place of wealth. The Romans are all into Gashmias. Rome is Europe, America. The whole mamshich of Rome. Money, money, money. It's all about money. It's all about wealth. They have the wealth. And the world has a meister of that. Asar kabim anius yordu. There are 10 kabim of poverty came down to the world. Tishanot lo Bovel v'echad kol olam kuloi. Wow. So Bovel is a very poor place. Poverty is the essence of Bovel, and really all the anius is there. Only 1% is all over the world. I don't know why, but we will discuss it soon. The idea the anius is discussed later. Asar gabim gasus. Now we're going to go much more in depth, and we're going to talk about gasus. What's gasus? Arrogance. Which place in the world is the most arrogant place? Asar kabim, the parliament. Asar kabim gasus yodu la'olam. 10 kabim of haughtiness, of arrogance went down to the world. Gaiva gasus. Tishanot lo Elam. Vechad kol olam kuloi. So Elam was a place near Bavel. And Elam was a place where Mordechai lived, and maybe like Paros, it says Elam is one of the places mentioned. Daniel was there. Yeah, that place, Elam, was a place full of arrogance. Everyone stuck up. Okay? Okay. Frag the Gemara, the Gasus Lebovel Loinachis. Are you telling me isn't Bovel the center of Gaiva of the world? I'll prove to you that it is the Aksiv. Now we're going to bring a whole story from the Novi, from the Novi from Zechariah. Zechariah had, like every Novi had, what did he have? Visions. He had real visions from a Kodesh Baruch Hu, and there's a Malach that showed him things. And one time he saw, V'esa Einai, I lift my eyes, and he sees in his spirit, V'ere, V'ineshtaim Noshim Yoitzois, I saw two women coming out. I actually learned this morning in the Novi inside to get you the background. He saw in his mind's eyes, he saw more than mine, he saw a Nevuah. He saw two women coming out of where? According to Rashi, out of Beis HaMikdash. The Ruach bekanfeihem. Now, what's Ruach? Gaiva. They looked like women with wings. Women with wings. WWW. Women with wings. Yeah, not wigs. Wings. Yeah, with wings. Yeah, and now those wings had Ruach. There was like wind. Wind is Gaiva. Ruach. Yeah, Ruach shows spirit, high spirit. Ruach Gvoya. Nefesh represents Taiva. Always Ruach represents Gaiva. So he saw those ladies representing pride. The knefaim, the head was like the stalk. What's the problem with the bird called chasida? He does chasidus im chavroiseha. Chasida is the bird that it's a stalk, yeah, and that chasida, she does a lot of chesed only with its own friends, only with unzer mention. Yeah, she only cares about her own group, her own clique, her own people, and not about others. And that's called chanupa. What's chanupa? Chanupa, flattery, is really, why am I doing you a favor? Because we are friends. You'll do favor back to me. It's not, chanupa is a guy who's, the guy, you know, he's stuck up. He's a bal guy, but nobody likes him, right? He's a guy who walks like that. But the chanupa is much worse in a way because he's so nice to you. Why is he nice? Because he wants a favor back from you. Yeah, he wants to create this, you know, cartel between people that will all be good to each other, but he'll be very nasty to others. That's called chanupa. So those ladies represented Gaiva and chanupa, and they were holding, but they're holding an ephah, they're holding like a kli, like a measuring cup, measuring plate, measuring thing, called an ephah. I'll clue you in now, and there are three different explanations. The explanation here, that ephah contained what? Yetzer hara, because it says in Sanhedrin Samech Daled, yeah, what did they do with the Yetzer hara? In the Beis HaMikdash, yeah, in the times of Beis HaMikdash, they managed to lock him inside a pot. They locked him. So after he was locked in the pot, boom, they put the lid on top. He's stuck inside the pot. Can't bother us anymore, Yetzer hara. Where did they take him? They were still kicking and screaming inside. Where did they take him? That's chapter 2. Those two ladies representing Gaiva and Chanupa, yeah, arrogance and flattery. Where are they taking the Yetzer hara of those bad midos of Chanupa and Gaiva? Where is he going? To Chiria? To where? Answers the answer. First wide line. Where are they taking Mr. Yetzer hara? Where is he going? I'm curious to know. Where's the next stop? Yeah, Ways. Put it in Ways. Where's the Yetzer hara going? The Yomer Lai, and the Malach told me, Livnus labais beretz shin'ar. The Yetzer hara is going to build a house for himself. You think you got rid of him? There's a sequel. Yetzer hara, the sequel. He now built himself a house, not stop floating around. He's established. Where's he established? Beretz shin'ar. Oy, where's shin'ar? Bovel. Oh. Domer b'yochanan zu chanupa v'gasus haruach shiur de leBovel. Oh. So you see that where is Bavel? Well, Bavel is Shinar, Shinar is Bavel. Where is Chanupa and Gasus Ruach, arrogance? In Bavel. So why are you telling me Elam? Elam is next door to Bavel. Not true. It looks like the last stop was in Bavel. Bavel is the center of Gaiva and not Elam. So why are you besmirching Elam? Kivyochol. Answers the Gemara in Lahachanochis. It's true, he came here. The Amoraim lived in Bavel. Originally, there's a third sequel. He really built his house here originally, but eventually he spilled over and he went to Elam and preferred Elam. start in Beis Hamikdash, unbelievable. You know that the worst of errors come from the place of Kedusha. The more Kedusha, the more Tumah. Zelum and Elokim. Yeah? So now the Yetzirah was transferred with the two women in a big pot into Bavel, but then from Bavel, he probably affected Bavel to a point, but then he moved house, where? To Elam. And he stayed in Elam. Ada Yoim Hazeh, the center of Gaiva, and Chanupa is where? Is Elam. Daikanami, and I'll prove it to you from the Pasuk. Diktani livnos lobais, shma mino. There are a few explanations to that. I'll follow one of them. Livnos labais means what? They went there in order to build a house. But it doesn't say the house was built. Yeah, they flew in order to. Sounds like their plans were not actualized. They wanted to stop in Bavel for life. I'm sure there's very, very deep explanations here, which I don't know. The idea was Bavel should be the place, but then Bavel was removed to Elam. And soon we're going to know why. A lot of questions we may have, I promise you, will be answered soon, because we didn't yet explain what's the essence of Elam as opposed to Bavel. Soon you're going to get the picture. Dr. Gemara, Frag the Gemara, Amy, is that so? We say there is a statement in the Gemara. Siman legasus anius. A person, you know how to decide if a person is really arrogant. You don't know. Arrogance is sometimes hidden in the heart. You want to know when somebody is arrogant if he's poor. Yeah, why? A poor person, Hashem doesn't like him. Yeah, in other words, Hashem punished him with poverty because he's too arrogant. Okay? Danius, the Babilu deika. Wait a second. We just said Bavel is the world center of poverty. So it makes sense that Bavel is the Gaiva place. Again, A equals B equals C, A equals C. Now, if you're telling me that Bavel, we decided the center of poverty. Good. Now you're telling me poverty and Gaiva go together. So Bavel should be the center of Gaiva, as was the original plan of the two women. Answers the Gemara, my Anius the Torah. When we say that a poor person is arrogant, it's not true. Doesn't mean poor financially. Yeah, poor people are very humble. But a person who's not matzlich in his learning, a person who's arrogant will not be able to learn Torah. You know why? It says Rashi, Mitoch gasusay en mishamish kol tzorkev and mechazal shmosoi. You think that these rabbis can teach me Torah? I know everything. What's this guy coming teaching me Torah? I know it all. And what I don't know is irrelevant, and it doesn't sit right with my moral compass, which is based on some stupid Hollywood movie I'm allowed to say. I said about a Hollywood movie, so I'm allowed to say the S word. I'm allowed. The Kitzer, he doesn't allow me to say the STUPID word. So now, yeah, he's Gaivadik. Why should he learn Torah? So even if he tries to learn Torah with an intellectual pursuit, Hashem will not be mitzlich darkoi. Hashem doesn't like the Balagaiva. If you're Balagaiva, you won't be successful in your learning. So wait a second. That explains everything. Now, you know which country is Bavel is poor, financially speaking, but there were tremendous Talmid Chachamim, and also they taught Torah. Elam is a poor place Torah-wise, and that fits very well with the idea of Elam being also an arrogant place. You know why Elam were not successful in Torah? Because they were arrogant. Now everything fits in. Bavel was a place of dafka, humility in a good way, anovo, humbleness. So they were learning and teaching Torah. And Elam was a place, I'm going to shock you now, there were Talmid Chachamim, and yet the other people, the regular men, were not learning Torah, were not matzlich to learn Torah. Dichtiv, achus lanu ktana v'shadayim enla. What does it mean not having breasts? I mean, figuratively speaking, breasts are giving. You're feeding a baby, right? That shadayim always means to give. So we have a sister who never manages to nourish, to teach. Everything is good now. There were two tremendous Talmid Chachamim in Elam. Did you ever hear of Daniel and Mordecai? Daniel! Whoa. Mordecai Tzaddik, Mordecai Yehudi. Yeah, half the country is going to be dressed like Mordecai soon. Yeah? Mordecai and Daniel were tremendous Talmid Chachamim Nevim. They did not manage to teach Torah because they lived in Elam. It wasn't their fault. The people were Baligaiva. The people of Elam, the Jews of Elam were Baligaiva. You think this Mordechai and Daniel are going to teach me what to do? I know better. So Mimela, what? They didn't manage to, so maybe they went to the Shiur of Mordechai and Daniel, but what they say, so therefore Mimela, what? Mimela, Elam was a place of arrogance. Mimela, Elam became poor in Torah, and the people are not Bnei Torah. Let's be honest. How many times did we hear about Bavel as opposed to how many times did we hear about Elam, right? Talmud Bavli. You see? Oh, that's your answer, maybe. Bavel was not necessarily a place of Chokhmah, but it was a place of Anova. The place of Anova where people accepted from the Rabbanim, were willing to lower their ego and be Mekabel from the Rav. That was the big mile of Bavel. Look at Bavel, full of yeshivas. I mean, till today, we learn Talmud Bavli all over the world every second, right? Because Bavel had the Anova to be Mekabel from a greater person. That's their mile, as opposed to Elam, which was a bunch of whatever, Baligaiva. They did not accept Torah from the great people that lived there. Until today, Elam is, what's Elam? Ne'elam. Just thinking now, Elam, Ne'elam, gone. Yeah, it's disappeared. Weiter, weiter, weiter. Please, please, 4 more minutes. We'll get to the Mishnah. We have to get to the Mishnah, and then you'll do whatever you want. Asara kabim gvura yodu la'olam. 10 kabim of might, of power, went down to the world. Tisha notlu Parsim. Yeah, so apparently the Parsim, the Persians, are very strong people. That's Iran. Nuclear power, yeah? And they got all 10, then they got 9, and another one from the 10 came to the whole world. Asar kabim kinim yordoloilam. Again, I don't know what it means spiritually, but lice, 10, the entire amount of lice that came to the world. Tisha notla modai. Modai was a place full of lice. I'm sure it's deeper meaning, but that's what it says here. Ve'echad kol olam kuloi. Asar kabim kshofim. Oh, witchcraft, technology. Witchcraft, Yodu la'olam, Tishanot Mitzrayim, that's known. Mitzrayim was a place full of kshofim, right? Mitzrayim was very, very common to do kshofim, AI, all these things. Mitzrayim was super in that, and the rest of the world just got the meiser. Tisha asor kabim negoim Yodu la'olam, Tishanot chazirim, negoim, all kinds of blemishes and diseases. 9 of them the pigs got, and the other are for the rest of the world. Asor kabim znus Yodu la'olam. Yes, znus, princess. Who gets the most pritzes? Hollywood? Where? No, apparently the Arabs. Unbelievable. Tishanot la'Arabia. You think they're so tsanua because they're covered in the face? The Arabs are the most pritzedika people. Yeah, they are the Mitzias. Yeah, and they get 90% of znus is in by the Arabs, and the rest is the rest of the world. Asor kabim azus yodu la'olam. Yeah, chutzpah, azus, strength. Sometimes it's good to have chutzpah. Depends which way. So 10 kabim of azus went down to the world. Tisha notlo Meishan. Meishan was also a place near Bavel, and Rashi says, why were the mechutz of the mamzerim? In Meishan, there are a lot of mamzerim, and mamzerim tend to be mechutz. If a mamzer doesn't come from a, say the least, holy union, and therefore it affects the child. You know the way that the father and the mother are. You know when they, yeah, and therefore the mamzer is a mechutz, and therefore Meishan was full of chutzpah / mamzerim. Asar kabim sicha yordul oilam. Yeah, talking sicha betela. Tisha notlu noshi. Women have 90% of talking in the world that we know, and the men have to say one thing: yes, dear, you are right. Here is my credit card. That's all you have to say, and the women they say everything else. 90%. Now, looks very seriously. Asar kabim shichrus yordul oilam, and some say shachrus. Either shichrus means what? Being drunk, drunkenness, or shahrut as blackness, being black, tisha not lukushim, and the rest of the world. Yeah, 90% of either being drunk or being black came to Kushim, to people from Kush, which is somewhere in Africa around Egypt. They say Ethiopia. Yeah, they always like to say it's Ethiopia in the art school. They decided it's Ethiopia. Maybe it's Sudan. I don't know. Maybe it's Djibouti. It's also around there. So Bekitz, there's a country, Djibouti. Yeah, so Bekitzer, 90% is for the Kushim and 10% for the rest of the world. Yeah, Asor kabim shena yordul oilam. The power to want to sleep, to have a gezunter shlof, to sleep. So Tisha notlu avodim, vecha notlu kolon kuloi. Avodim like to sleep. They also mentioned that by the Bala Musar, an Eved is not self-motivated. An Eved is not making his own money. An Eved is just working for someone else. He doesn't see hope, in the near future. So the Eved loves to sleep because, him being awake is not a motivated state. So he likes to sleep all the time. And therefore, the Eved is a nice, Baal Sheina. Thank you very much. Atzlocho brocha. I did not get to the Shulchan Aruch, maybe on Sunday, Blineder. Okay, Shkoyach, thank you. Atzlocho Rabba. Have a great Shabbos. And thank you for those who participate in the evening shiur. When are you? Thank you to YouTube participants and to Torah Anytime viewers. Thank you.